Take responsibility, own your life. Life changes the moment you decide it's in your hands, not in your parents' hands, not in society's hands, not in luck's hands, your hands. Most people spend years waiting for something outside of them to shift before they make a move. They wait for conditions to improve, for motivation to appear, for someone to rescue them, for their past to magically release them. But here's the truth that most people avoid because of how heavy it sounds. No one is coming. You are the one who has to take responsibility for where you're going. And that is not a punishment. It's the greatest freedom you'll ever experience. The trap of blame. People in today's world are drowning in excuses. It's my childhood. The world is unfair. I don't have time. I'm too tired. I wasn't given the same opportunities. And yes, some of these things might be true. Life isn't equally fair to everyone. Some people do start behind. Some people have trauma, obstacles, disadvantages, or a painful history. But here's the brutal reality. You don't get to choose your starting point, but you do get to choose your direction. Blame feels comforting in the moment because it removes accountability. If something else is responsible for your failure, then you don't have to try. You don't have to risk anything. You don't have to face discomfort. But blame robs you of power. It makes you a spectator in your own life instead of the driver. Responsibility, on the other hand, is the exact opposite. It doesn't matter where you started. Taking responsibility gives you control over where you end up. Responsibility is not about fault. People often confuse responsibility with fault. They are not the same. Your past isn't your fault. Your upbringing isn't your fault. The mistakes others made that affected you aren't your fault. The challenges life threw at you weren't your fault. But moving forward, that's your responsibility. Think about it like this: if someone hands you a broken object, it isn't your fault it's broken, but it becomes your responsibility if you decide to fix it. Your life works the same way. You didn't choose every piece of it, but you are the only one who can rebuild it. Responsibility doesn't judge you, it empowers you. Why responsibility strengthens you. When you take responsibility, something powerful happens psychologically. You regain control. As long as your problems belong to someone else, you can't fix them. Once you take ownership, you immediately regain the ability to act. You grow resilience. Responsibility forces you to become mentally tougher. You start realizing you're capable of more than you ever imagined. You build confidence. Confidence comes from knowing you can rely on yourself. When you consistently show up, even in small ways, you form a new identity. I'm someone who doesn't run from challenges. You create clarity. Responsibility forces you to ask deeper questions. What can I control? What habits are holding me back? What can I improve today? Suddenly, life becomes less chaotic and more directed. Start with small ownership. People think responsibility means taking on huge burdens all at once, but that's not true. Responsibility grows in small steps. Start with things like making your own bed every morning, following a simple routine, completing one task even when you don't feel like it, taking care of your health, fixing one area of your life instead of all of them. These small actions build momentum. Responsibility is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Stop waiting for the right time. There will never be a perfect moment to take control of your life. Waiting for the right time is just a disguised way of avoiding responsibility. The right time is always now, because now is the only moment you can actually influence. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for confidence. Don't wait for approval. Don't wait for conditions to magically improve. Act first, feel later. Discipline produces momentum, and momentum creates motivation, not the other way around. Turn responsibility into daily habits. Here are simple, practical steps to begin owning your life. Identify one thing you're unhappy about. Just one. Don't overwhelm yourself. Pick something small you know you can improve. Admit honestly how your choices have contributed. This isn't self-blame, it's self-awareness. Create one small action you can take today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today, track your progress. Even tiny improvements build powerful results over time. Hold yourself to a standard, even when nobody is watching. Self-respect is built through private victories. Your life becomes meaningful when your actions align with the person you want to be. The turning point. Taking responsibility is not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. It's about refusing to see yourself as a victim of life and choosing to see yourself as an active participant. This is the turning point where your life begins to transform. The day you stop making excuses and start making decisions. You deserve to be proud of who you become. You deserve a life that reflects your effort, your potential, and your strength. Taking responsibility is how you get there. If you want to take control of your future, start by taking control of your choices. Your life won't change when things get easier. It will change when you get stronger. Compare to yourself, not others. We live in a world where comparison has become almost automatic. You scroll through social media, see someone your age driving a better car, living in a nicer apartment, earning more money, looking more attractive. And suddenly, it feels like your own progress doesn't count. Your achievements shrink, your motivation fades, and without even realizing it, you start viewing your life through someone else's highlight reel instead of your own reality. But here's a truth most people never learn: comparison is a thief with perfect aim. It knows exactly how to hit your confidence, your focus, and your self-worth. It steals quietly, silently, subtly, and by the time you notice what's missing, you've already handed over months, sometimes years, of your potential. That's why one principle can completely change your life. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. This idea is simple, but it's powerful enough to reshape your mindset from the inside out. Let's break it down in a realistic, practical way. The trap of social comparison. Most people don't compare fairly. They look at another person's victories, but ignore their struggles. They look at the final product, but skip the years of effort behind it. They see someone finishing the race and forget that every runner starts at a different point. Social comparison works like a distorted mirror. It magnifies other people's success, it shrinks your own achievements, and it convinces you that you're behind, even if you're actually improving. But here's the problem. You can't build your life using someone else's blueprint. Their background is different. Their opportunities are different. Their goals are different. So comparing yourself to them doesn't give you direction. It only gives you discouragement. To grow, you need a fair benchmark, a realistic benchmark. And the only fair person to compete with is the person you were yesterday. Why personal comparison builds real confidence. Imagine waking up tomorrow and you're just 1% better than today, just a little bit stronger, a little bit more disciplined, a little bit more organized, a little bit more focused. Not perfect, not instantly transformed, just slightly better. If you improve at that pace, tiny increments, for weeks and months, something incredible happens. You start trusting yourself. You see that your effort turns into progress. You see that small wins stack up. You see that you're capable of meaningful change. Confidence doesn't come from outperforming others. It comes from outperforming the old version of you. That's the kind of confidence no one can take away, because it's earned, not borrowed. A story we all understand. Think about this for a moment. There was probably a time in your life when you were more disciplined than you are today, maybe during school, maybe during sports, maybe when you had a strong routine. And there were moments when you were struggling more than you are right now. Your life has never been static, you are always changing. So instead of asking, why am I not like them? Ask, am I better than I was yesterday? That question gives you control. That question turns life into a personal mission instead of a public competition. How to actually do this? Here are simple, realistic ways to track your own progress without falling into the comparison trap. Journaling for daily progress. You don't need to write essays. Just take 3 to 5 minutes each night and answer. What did I do today that made me better than yesterday? What small habit did I maintain? What did I struggle with? And how can I adjust tomorrow? Over time, these entries show you something powerful. You are improving even if it doesn't feel dramatic. Habit tracking. Your brain loves visual proof. Create a simple habit tracker for things like reading 10 minutes, drinking more water, studying or working for 30 minutes, working out, meditating, sleeping on time. Every check mark becomes a mini victory. Every streak builds momentum. And suddenly, improvement becomes something you can see. Weekly self-check. Ask yourself once a week, am I more disciplined than last week? Am I handling stress better? Am I clear about my goals? What can I improve by just 1% next week? Don't judge yourself with emotion. Judge yourself with data. Look at actions, not feelings. Replacing comparison with gratitude. Here's another truth. You can't be grateful and jealous at the same time. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring your ambitions. It means recognizing where you started, how far you've come, and what strengths you already have. When you combine gratitude with self-comparison, you create a strong foundation. I'm proud of who I am, and I'm committed to becoming better. That's a healthier, more productive mindset than trying to outshine everyone else. A quiet advantage. When you compare yourself only to your past self, something incredible happens. You grow faster, you stay calmer, you stay focused, you stop caring about the noise, you become consistent, and eventually, people begin comparing themselves to you. Not because you tried to impress them, but because your improvement speaks for itself. If comparing yourself to others steals your confidence, then what you do next can rebuild it faster than anything else. Work hard on one thing, the power of focused effort. If there's one lesson that separates people who quietly improve their lives from people who stay stuck year after year, it's this: focus is a superpower. Not the kind of scattered, half-hearted focus we give to 10 things at once, but deep, consistent commitment to one important goal. We live in a world full of distractions. Phones buzzing, notifications lighting up your screen, endless videos, messages, trends, and pressure to do everything. But here's the truth that successful people understand: you don't need to do everything. You need to master one thing, one skill, one craft, one direction. Because when you put real effort into one target, something incredible happens. You begin to move forward. You begin to change. And that change compounds. Let's break this down in a simple, practical way. The modern distracted mind. Today, people aren't failing because they're not capable. They're failing because they're overwhelmed. Every few minutes, there's something new competing for your attention, a new trend, a new app, a new opportunity, a new side hustle, a new goal. And instead of choosing one path, most people choose all of them. They try to juggle too many things, and nothing gets finished. Think about it. You can't build a strong fire if you spread your matches across 10 different piles of wood. But if you stack all that wood together and strike one match, you create a blaze. Working hard on one thing is how you create that blaze in your own life. Why one thing changes everything. When you concentrate your effort, two things happen. Your skill grows exponentially. Most people underestimate how fast they can improve when they show up every day. You might start terrible. You might feel slow, confused, or inexperienced, but day by day, tiny step by tiny step, you get sharper. This is the compounding effect, just like interest in a bank account. Day 1, no change. Day 100, a little progress. Day 30, noticeable improvement. Day 100, people start asking how you got so good. Compounding is invisible at first. That's why most people quit. But if you keep going, eventually the curve skyrockets. The world recognizes effort. Hard work is visible. It shows up in your voice, your actions, your results. People begin to trust you, rely on you, support you. Doors open, opportunities appear. Not because you're lucky, but because you're consistent. Why people can't stick to one thing. If focusing is so powerful, why do so few people do it? Reason, hey, one, fear of failure. If you only focus on one thing, you're accountable. There's no place to hide. So people choose distraction because it feels safer. Reason fate 2, instant gratification. Switching goals gives you short-term excitement. Sticking to one goal gives long-term transformation. But that requires patience. Reason fate 3, comparison. People see someone else succeeding and think, maybe I should switch to what they are doing. That mindset kills momentum. If you want to win, you must push through all 3 of these barriers. How to choose your one thing. You don't need to pick the perfect thing. You just need something that matters enough to commit to. Ask yourself 3 questions. What skill or goal, if I mastered it, would change my life the most? What am I willing to struggle for? What do I constantly come back to, no matter how many times I drift away? It could be fitness, writing, a business, a YouTube channel, music, coding, art, sales, public speaking, anything that requires growth. Pick your one thing, because your life won't change until your focus does. The 90-day rule. Here's a rule powerful people follow. Pick one goal and commit to it for 90 days. No switching, no quitting, no excuses. Why 90 days? Because it's long enough to see real progress, but short enough to feel achievable. For 90 days, work on your skill daily. Track your effort. Remove distractions. Ignore shortcuts. Avoid comparing yourself. Keep showing up. You will be shocked at who you become after 90 days. How to start working hard on one thing. Step 1, define the mission. Be specific. Not get fit, but work out 45 minutes daily. Not start a business, but post one piece of content every day. Step 2, remove distractions. Your phone is the biggest enemy of your future self. Turn off notifications. Set strict time limits. Use your device. Don't let it use you. Step 3, set a daily minimum. Do at least some work every day. Even on bad days, tiny progress keeps the habit alive. Step 4, track everything. Using a journal, a calendar, a habit app, a whiteboard. When you see your progress visually, you stay motivated. Step 5, build momentum. Once you get a streak going, protect it. Momentum is priceless. If you fall off, restart immediately. Why this works? There is nothing magical about working hard on one thing. What's magical is the person you become by doing it. You develop discipline, confidence, skill, persistence, patience, identity. You stop being the person who wishes and become the person who builds. Most people talk about changing their lives. A few people do the work. Those few eventually rise. Final message, choose your one thing. Your potential is real. Your power is real. Your future depends on what you choose to focus on. Remember this? You don't need permission. You don't need motivation every minute. You don't need the perfect plan. You need effort, consistency, and commitment to one mission. Work as hard as you can on one thing and watch how different your life becomes. Before you click away, ask yourself this: what would happen if you finally stopped starting over and actually finished something? In the next video, we uncover the psychological tricks that make discipline feel natural, even when motivation disappears. Tell the truth, be honest. Honesty sounds simple, but it's one of the hardest things most people struggle with every day. Not the big dramatic lies, but the small ones, the ones you tell yourself, your friends, your coworkers, even strangers. I'm fine when you're exhausted. I'll do it tomorrow when you know you won't. I didn't notice when you clearly did. Each tiny lie might feel harmless in the moment, but over time they build a web of tension inside you. Psychologists call this cognitive dissonance, the mental discomfort that comes from holding conflicting beliefs or acting against your own values. When you lie, even in small ways, your mind knows something is off. You feel guilt, stress, anxiety, and self-doubt. That tension accumulates quietly, but it affects your confidence, relationships, and focus. The key is simple yet transformative: tell the truth, or at least don't lie. The hidden cost of small lies. We often underestimate how much power small lies have over our lives. Consider these examples. You tell your boss you're finishing a task when you're behind schedule. Stress builds, you avoid confrontation. Your anxiety grows, You promise a friend you'll call but never do. The guilt affects how you show up elsewhere. You tell yourself, I don't need to exercise today, even though your body craves it. Your self-discipline weakens. Even these tiny lies create internal friction. They chip away at your integrity and make you feel scattered, disconnected, and less trustworthy, not just to others, but to yourself. Why honesty strengthens you. Honesty isn't just moral, it's practical. Telling the truth reduces stress, builds clarity, and strengthens your mental and emotional resilience. Here's why. Reduces internal conflict. Every time you lie, your brain has to track two stories, the lie and the truth. That extra load consumes mental energy. Being honest clears that weight and frees up focus. Builds credibility. When you consistently tell the truth, others start to trust you. That trust opens doors, creates opportunities, and strengthens relationships, enhances self-respect. Integrity isn't something you earn from others, it's something you build from the inside. Every honest choice reinforces the story you tell yourself: I am reliable, I am trustworthy, I am responsible. How to practice daily honesty. Practicing honesty doesn't mean you suddenly reveal every thought to everyone. It's about aligning your actions with reality and your values. Here are practical ways to start. 1. Start with yourself. Before telling others, be honest with yourself. Did you procrastinate? Admit it. Are you stressed or unhappy? Recognize it. Are you avoiding responsibilities? Face it. Self-honesty is the foundation. Without it, truthfulness with others is hollow. Practice micro-honesty. Small, everyday honesty compounds. For example, admit when you don't know something. Give real feedback instead of sugar-coating. Speak your mind respectfully instead of agreeing to avoid conflict. Each small act strengthens integrity. Keep a truth journal. Write down moments when you told yourself or others anything untrue. Reflect on the cost and how you could respond differently next time. Over time, this trains your mind to notice subtle dishonesty and correct it. Communicate assertively, not aggressively. Being honest doesn't mean being harsh. Frame your truth in ways that are constructive and kind. For instance, instead of saying, you're wrong, you could say, I see it differently, here's why. The psychological benefit: reduced anxiety. One of the most underappreciated benefits of honesty is mental relief. Every time you lie, even a little, your subconscious keeps score. It whispers, this isn't right. You know it. Those whispers become stress, tension, and indecision. When you stop lying, your brain stops tracking multiple versions of reality. Decisions become clearer. You feel lighter. You sleep better. You focus better. The freedom of honesty is quiet, but profound. Honesty in relationships. Honesty transforms relationships faster than almost any other habit. Friends, partners, and co-workers sense it. They feel it. They respect it. Even when truth causes temporary discomfort, it strengthens bonds over time. Think of honesty like a muscle. At first, it feels uncomfortable. You fear conflict or judgment. But as you use it, it becomes natural, effortless, and empowering. Practical example from theory to action. Let's say you're habitually late. A dishonest reaction might be, traffic was bad, so it's not my fault. The honest approach is, I mismanaged my time, and I'll plan better next time. The second option doesn't just reduce stress, it positions you as reliable, responsible, and in control. People notice, your self-image strengthens. Over time, small truths create a ripple effect: greater discipline, trust, and personal growth. Final takeaway: honesty is one of the simplest yet most profound habits you can build. It affects every part of life: self-esteem, relationships, productivity, and mental health. Start small, start today. Practice honesty with yourself first, then with others. The effect is cumulative, invisible at first, but eventually unstoppable. Your life will feel lighter, your mind clearer, your confidence stronger, and your presence in the world respected. Truth isn't always easy, but it's always powerful. In the next video, we'll uncover how your posture, your presence, and even how you carry yourself can silently command respect and boost your confidence every single day. Stand up straight, own your confidence. Confidence isn't just what you feel inside, it's what you show to the world. And one of the simplest, most overlooked ways to signal confidence is through posture. The way you carry yourself doesn't just influence how others perceive you, it shapes how you perceive yourself. Every time you slouch, hunch, or shrink, your brain takes it as a signal: I am small, unworthy, or defeated. Conversely, standing tall, shoulders back, chest open sends the exact opposite message. I am capable, I am strong, I belong here. It sounds simple, almost too easy. But this single habit, something so small that most people ignore it, can be the difference between feeling invisible and commanding respect. The body-mind connection. Modern neuroscience shows that posture and mental state are deeply linked. Researchers have found that people who maintain upright, expansive postures report higher levels of self-esteem. Slouched postures correlate with feelings of depression, fatigue, and stress. Even brief moments of upright posture can reduce cortisol levels and increase testosterone, a hormone associated with dominance and assertiveness. Your body doesn't just reflect your mind, it helps create it. In other words, stand tall, and your brain will start believing in your confidence. Before and after real life examples. Think of two people walking into the same room. Person A, hunched shoulders, head down, short steps, hands in pockets. Person B, head high, shoulders back, steady stride, relaxed hands. Even without speaking, person B immediately commands attention. Eyes are drawn to them. They exude authority. People subconsciously trust them more. Person A, they are overlooked, underestimated, and treated as less capable, even if they have the same knowledge and skills. This isn't magic, it's psychology. Your posture broadcasts signals constantly, and others respond automatically. How posture shapes mental confidence. Standing tall affects you internally as well, reduces anxiety. Your brain interprets upright posture as a signal of strength. Fear and stress naturally decrease, boosts assertiveness. People who carry themselves confidently are more likely to speak up, negotiate, and take action. Enhances focus and energy. Upright posture opens the lungs, improves circulation, and helps you feel alert and ready to act. Reinforces identity. If you consistently present yourself as someone confident, you start to believe it internally. Identity follows behavior. Actionable tips to stand taller. Changing your posture takes awareness, practice, and consistency. Here's how to start. Daily posture check. Set reminders on your phone every hour. Ask yourself, am I slouched? Are my shoulders forward? Is my head tilted down? Adjust immediately. Over time, upright posture becomes automatic. Shoulder and core exercises. Strong muscles support good posture. Incorporate shoulder blade squeezes, planks and core workouts, chest stretches, back strengthening routines. Physical strength reinforces mental presence. Walking with purpose. When you move through the world, take steady steps. Keep your head up. Make your stride deliberate. Walk like you have somewhere important to be and mean it. Your body will naturally communicate authority. Mirror practice. Spend 5-10 minutes daily in front of a mirror. Practice standing tall, smiling naturally, maintaining open, confident gestures. This trains both your body and mind. Power poses. Before interviews, presentations, or high-pressure situations, use power poses for 2-3 minutes. Hands on hips, feet apart, arms raised overhead, leaning slightly back with chest open. Research shows these poses increase confidence and reduce stress. Assertiveness beyond posture. Posture is part of confidence, but it's not the only factor. Assertiveness requires clear voice, eye contact, calm and deliberate movements. Combine these with upright posture, and you project authority effortlessly. People will listen. People will respect you. People will respond to your presence. Why this habit matters more than you think. It's not just about how others see you. It's about how you see yourself. In moments of self-doubt, posture can be the quick reset you need. Feeling nervous, stand tall. Take a deep breath. Your brain registers strength. Feeling overwhelmed? Open your chest, square your shoulders. You feel less trapped, more capable. Feeling hesitant? Align your body with confidence. Your actions will follow. Even small changes repeated consistently will dramatically shift how you move through life. Practical daily routine example. Morning, stand in front of a mirror for 2 minutes. Straighten up, shoulders back, deep breath. Throughout the day, set hourly reminders to check posture. Before high-stakes moments, take a 2-minute power pose. Evening, reflect on how your posture affected interactions, focus, and mood. This habit alone can be transformational if practiced consistently. Final thought. Confidence is not a trait you are born with. It's a habit you cultivate. And posture is one of the most accessible, powerful, and immediate habits you can develop. Stand tall, and your mind and body align towards strength, assertiveness, and focus. This simple adjustment can ripple into every part of your life: relationships, career, personal goals, and self-respect. Your posture sets the stage, but your mind drives the play. In the next video, we'll explore how treating yourself with the same care you give others can completely transform your habits, your health, and your self-worth. Treat yourself like someone you care about. We often take care of everyone else first, family, friends, co-workers, while neglecting the person who ultimately carries us through life, ourselves. Yet, paradoxically, many people treat themselves worse than they would treat anyone else they care about. They skip meals, sacrifice sleep, ignore exercise, and allow negative self-talk to dominate their inner dialogue. It sounds subtle, but the impact is massive. Neglecting yourself affects every area of your life: mental clarity, emotional resilience, productivity, relationships, and even long-term health. One principle can shift this pattern completely. Treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. It's not just a motivational idea. It's grounded in psychology, neuroscience, and real-world practice. When you begin caring for yourself intentionally, the benefits ripple outward in ways you'll feel immediately and in ways you'll see years later. Why most people don't care for themselves. There are common reasons people neglect self-care. They underestimate their own worth. Some people don't see themselves as deserving of time, attention, or resources. They prioritize others' needs while believing their own are secondary. They confuse self-care with selfishness. Many assume that taking care of themselves comes at the expense of helping others. In reality, neglecting your health or mental state decreases your capacity to support anyone else effectively. They lack structure and habits. Even when intentions are good, inconsistent routines or unclear goals make self-care feel impossible. Understanding these barriers is the first step in creating real change. Once you recognize why you've been neglecting yourself, you can intentionally restructure your habits and mindset. The psychology of self-compassion. Research in psychology shows that self-compassion is not indulgence. It's critical for growth and resilience. When you treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping, you reduce self-criticism, which lowers stress and anxiety. You improve decision-making by thinking clearly instead of reacting emotionally. You increase motivation because positive reinforcement is more effective than punishment. Self-compassion is about responsible care, acknowledging your needs, setting boundaries, and taking consistent action to maintain your well-being. How neglect impacts your life. Neglecting your health and habits can subtly sabotage your life. Physical health, poor nutrition, lack of exercise, and inadequate sleep decrease energy, immunity, and longevity. Mental health, constant self-criticism, stress, and ignoring emotional needs lead to anxiety, depression, and burnout. Productivity, fatigue, and mental fog reduce your ability to focus, make decisions, and execute goals. Relationships, when you are depleted, you have less patience, empathy, and emotional availability for others. By reversing neglect, you improve not just your own life, but the lives of everyone around you. Practical steps to treat yourself like someone you care about. The principle is simple, but implementation takes intentionality. Here are actionable strategies. Prioritize physical health. Exercise regularly. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate activity most days. Exercise releases endorphins, reduces stress, and boosts energy. Eat intentionally, choose whole, nutrient-rich foods. Treat meals as fuel, not just convenience. Avoid constant junk food or mindless snacking. Sleep consistently. 79 hours per night is essential for physical recovery, mental clarity, and emotional balance. Strengthen mental health. Meditation or mindfulness. Spend 15 minutes daily observing your thoughts without judgment. This reduces stress and increases emotional resilience. Journaling, reflect on your feelings, accomplishments, and challenges. Writing down thoughts can clarify priorities and provide insight. Set boundaries, learn to say no to things that drain your energy unnecessarily. Protect your time and emotional space. Build emotional well-being. Self-kindness. Speak to yourself like you would a loved one. Replace harsh criticism with constructive guidance. Celebrate small wins, acknowledge achievements daily, even minor ones. This reinforces positive self-perception, social support. Surround yourself with people who respect and uplift you. Distance yourself from chronic negativity. Integrate into daily life. Treating yourself like someone you care about doesn't require hours of effort daily. Simple integration works better. Morning, drink water, stretch, plan your day intentionally. Daytime, take small breaks, eat mindfully, practice awareness of your energy. Evening, reflect on accomplishments, relax intentionally, and prepare your body and mind for sleep. Consistency is more important than intensity. Small, repeated acts of self-care accumulate into significant life change. The ripple effect. When you treat yourself responsibly, the benefits extend beyond yourself. You model healthy behavior for friends and family. You become more capable of handling stress and challenges. Your energy, mood, and focus improve, allowing you to pursue goals effectively. Your sense of self-worth strengthens, influencing confidence and decision-making. Essentially, self-care is not selfish, it's foundational to success and fulfillment. A simple mental shift. Instead of thinking, I don't have time for myself, try, if I don't care for myself, I can't help anyone else effectively. This reframes self-care as responsibility, not indulgence. It aligns with the principle of taking ownership of your life because the person you are responsible for helping is you. Final takeaway. Treating yourself with care and respect is one of the most transformative habits you can adopt. It reduces stress, builds confidence, improves performance, and strengthens relationships. Start small, stay consistent, and approach your life with intentionality. Imagine treating yourself as you would a loved one who depends on you. What decisions would you make differently today? The truth is simple. When you prioritize your own well-being, everything else in life becomes easier to manage. Your body and mind are your most important assets. In the next video, we'll explore how confronting the chaos in your life rather than avoiding it builds resilience and unstoppable strength. Pursue meaning, not happiness. Most people chase happiness like it's a destination, constantly searching for the next thrill, the next reward, the next shortcut to feeling good. Social media, instant gratification, and pop culture reinforce this mindset. Buy this, do that, scroll endlessly, and you'll feel happy. But here's a truth few admit: fleeting happiness doesn't build a fulfilling life. Happiness is temporary, meaning is enduring. The difference is subtle but powerful. Happiness gives a short spike of pleasure, meaning gives long-term satisfaction and resilience. One principle can transform how you approach life. Pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. The trap of seeking happiness. Imagine this every day. You do things that feel good in the moment. You binge watch a show, scroll social media, eat junk food, buy cheap thrills. You get small dopamine hits, and for a while it feels satisfying. But after hours or days, that satisfaction fades. You're left restless, craving more, and often feeling emptier than before. Chasing happiness in this way creates a cycle. Instant reward, temporary pleasure, gay guilt or emptiness. Repeat. You're constantly trying to feel good rather than actually live well. Why meaning matters more. Meaning is different. It requires effort, responsibility, and sometimes sacrifice, but unlike short-term pleasure, meaningful pursuits have long-term neurological and psychological benefits. Dopamine with a twist. Dopamine spikes come from short-term rewards, but long-term goals generate steady dopamine release when you see progress. Incremental improvement in meaningful work produces a sense of accomplishment that compounds over time. Resilience under stress. People with purpose endure challenges better. Hardships feel tolerable because they're part of something larger than immediate pleasure. Sustainable fulfillment. Meaning shapes identity. When your actions align with values and goals, you feel grounded, proud, and confident, regardless of temporary setbacks. Meaning vests. Expedience, a simple contrast. Expedient choice, doing the easy thing now to feel good. Example, skipping exercise to watch a show. Immediate pleasure, delayed consequences. Meaningful choice, doing the hard thing now to achieve something greater. Example, exercising consistently to build health, confidence, and longevity. Temporary discomfort, long-term reward. Most people instinctively pick the expedient path, but those who choose meaning steadily outperform the crowd, physically, mentally, and emotionally. How to identify meaning in your life. Finding meaning isn't about following trends or mimicking someone else's life. It's about identifying actions that align with your core values, contribute to growth or improvement, make a positive impact on others or yourself. Ask yourself, what do I want to be remembered for? What kind of person do I want to become? Which actions make me proud to invest my time in? The answers guide you to meaningful goals rather than chasing temporary highs. Practical steps to pursue meaning. 1. Define your long-term goals. Write down goals that matter to you deeply, not just for external approval or short-term pleasure. Examples. Developing a skill you care about. Building a business that helps others. Creating art, content, or music. Strengthening health and fitness. Contributing to family or community. 2. Break goals into daily action. Meaningful pursuits often feel overwhelming at first. Break them down into consistent daily actions. 30 minutes of focused work on a project. Reading one chapter of a personal growth book. Practicing a skill each day. Small, consistent effort compounds into meaningful results over time. Accept temporary discomfort. Meaning often requires sacrifice. You may skip instant gratification, endure criticism, or face challenges. Accept that discomfort is part of the path, like resistance in a workout that strengthens you. Reflect regularly. Spend time weekly evaluating, am I moving toward meaningful goals? Did I take actions aligned with my values today? What adjustments are needed to stay on track? Reflection ensures your actions consistently serve long-term meaning rather than short-term pleasure. Real-life example. Consider someone who decides to learn a new skill, coding. Happiness-driven approach, start a course. Give up when it feels hard, seek fun instead. Short-term pleasure dominates, progress is minimal. Meaning-driven approach, commit to daily practice. Face the frustration of learning, accept mistakes, and improve steadily over months. Not only do they gain a new skill, but they also experience personal growth, confidence, and opportunity, something far beyond immediate pleasure. Psychological perspective. Research in positive psychology shows that people with purpose have higher life satisfaction, recover faster from setbacks, experience less anxiety and depression, are more likely to maintain healthy habits. Meaning is a protective factor in life. It's the difference between surviving and thriving. Final takeaway. Chasing happiness alone is like chasing a mirage. It's fleeting, unreliable, and leaves you empty. Pursuing meaning, however, is like planting seeds in fertile soil. You may work hard, face challenges, and delay gratification, but the harvest is sustainable, satisfying, and life-changing. Remember, happiness is a byproduct of meaningful action, not the main goal. Shift your focus from feeling good now to becoming someone who lives with purpose, discipline, and contribution. The rewards, internal strength, resilience, and fulfillment will follow naturally. Meaning isn't easy, but it's the path to a life you'll actually respect. In the next video, we'll explore how focusing deeply on one thing, your work, your skill, your craft, can compound your efforts into unstoppable growth. Face chaos. Don't avoid problems. Life is messy. Plans go wrong, relationships get complicated. Work piles up and unexpected challenges appear out of nowhere. Most people respond the same way: they avoid the chaos. They procrastinate, distract themselves, or hope problems will magically disappear. But avoidance comes with a cost. Every unresolved issue creates stress, anxiety, and a sense of helplessness. The longer you avoid, the larger and more tangled the problem becomes. On the other hand, confronting chaos head-on is one of the most powerful ways to build resilience, confidence, and control over your life. The guiding principle is simple. Confront the chaos in your life. It doesn't mean being reckless. It means being deliberate, courageous, and proactive in tackling problems rather than letting them fester. Why people avoid problems? Avoidance feels natural because chaos is uncomfortable. Common behaviors include procrastination, putting off tasks that seem overwhelming or stressful; distraction, scrolling social media, binge watching shows, or focusing on trivial tasks instead of addressing the real issue; denial, pretending a problem doesn't exist, hoping it will solve itself; blame, shifting responsibility onto others to avoid accountability. These strategies might reduce stress temporarily, but they increase long-term tension and anxiety, making challenges feel bigger and more insurmountable over time. The psychological power of exposure. Confronting chaos works because of a principle called exposure therapy, often used in psychology. Facing a feared or stressful situation gradually reduces its emotional impact. When you confront a challenge directly, your mind and body realize the stress is manageable. Each small success builds confidence and reduces anxiety over time. Avoidance, in contrast, reinforces fear and helplessness. In short, the more you face, the stronger and calmer you become. Step-by-step approach to tackle chaos. Tackling life's chaos doesn't require giant leaps. It requires structured action. Here's a practical approach. Step 1: identify the chaos. List your problems or challenges clearly. Don't just think about them, write them down. Examples: a work project you've been avoiding, a difficult conversation with a friend or family member, financial issues or unpaid bills, personal habits that are out of control. Writing it down externalizes the chaos, making it tangible and manageable. Step 2: prioritize one problem. You can't fight all battles at once. Choose the issue that causes the most stress, has a high impact if resolved, is realistic to start addressing now. Focusing on one problem reduces overwhelm and gives you momentum. Step 3: break it into smaller tasks. Large problems feel impossible until you split them into actionable steps. For example, problem: complete a late work project. Step 1: outline the tasks. Step 2: set deadlines for each section. Step 3: tackle one task at a time. Small wins build confidence and make the chaos feel conquerable. Step 4: take immediate action. Even tiny progress is powerful. Start now, not later. Action signals to your mind, I am capable of handling this. Respond to one email. Make one phone call. Begin the first 15 minutes of a project. The key is momentum, not perfection. Step 5: reflect and adjust. After each action, pause to reflect. What worked? What challenges remain? What can I improve in my next step? Reflection strengthens problem-solving skills and reduces anxiety for future challenges. Examples from real life. Career chaos. A person avoids updating their resume for months. The anxiety builds. Once they dedicate 30 minutes a day to revise it, the task becomes manageable. Each small step, editing one section, researching jobs, submitting applications, reduces stress and increases confidence. Relationship challenges. Avoiding a difficult conversation with a friend creates tension and resentment. Preparing what to say, setting a calm tone, and initiating the conversation directly resolves uncertainty and builds mutual trust. Health and habits. Neglecting exercise or poor nutrition creates long-term stress on the body. Gradually implementing small, consistent changes like a 10-minute walk or adding vegetables to one meal reduces chaos in physical health over time. Why this builds resilience. Facing chaos isn't just about solving problems, it's about training your mind. You become less reactive to stress. You learn patience and persistence. You develop confidence in your decision-making. You strengthen your ability to handle future challenges. People who confront chaos regularly aren't immune to stress. They're stronger, calmer, and more effective under pressure. Daily habits to maintain courage. Morning planning. Identify your top 102 challenges for the day. Set boundaries. Avoid distractions that allow avoidance. Check in at the end of the day. Review what you confronted and what remains. Celebrate small wins. Each problem you tackle is a victory for your mind and life. Consistency turns the habit of confronting chaos into second nature. Final takeaway: chaos is unavoidable, but avoidance is optional. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow stronger, calmer, and more resilient. Confronting your problems may feel uncomfortable at first, but each small victory compounds into confidence, control, and mastery over your life. Remember, the sooner you face the chaos, the faster you regain your power. Chaos is inevitable, but how you respond defines your life. In the next video, we'll explore the art of balancing structure and flexibility, finding the sweet spot between order and chaos for a life that's stable, dynamic, and truly fulfilling. Clean your room. Start small. It might sound trivial, but the simple act of organizing your physical space can dramatically impact your mental clarity, focus, and overall productivity. There's a principle that has stood the test of time. Set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world, before you try to solve big problems. Career setbacks, relationship issues, or life goals, look at your immediate environment. A cluttered, chaotic space often mirrors a cluttered mind. On the other hand, small, intentional efforts to organize your surroundings create momentum, reduce stress, and empower you to tackle bigger challenges in life. Why your space affects your mind. Humans are highly visual creatures. Our brains constantly process the environment around us, often subconsciously. When your surroundings are messy, your brain has to filter through distractions constantly. You feel restless and anxious without realizing why. Tasks seem harder and less manageable. Conversely, an organized space signals control and order. It communicates to your brain, things are manageable, I can think clearly, I am ready to act. Messy versus organized. The psychological impact. Consider two scenarios. Scenario 1: messy room, clothes scattered on the floor, papers piled up on the desk, kitchen counters full of dishes. Even if you try to focus, your attention is divided. You may procrastinate, feel overwhelmed, or avoid tasks altogether. Scenario 2A: organized room, clean surfaces, designated spaces for items, minimal distractions. Your mind feels lighter. Tasks appear achievable. Decision-making becomes easier. The environment itself reinforces discipline and focus. The power of small wins. The psychology of small wins is critical here. Making tiny improvements, folding one shirt, clearing one drawer, organizing one corner, activates a feedback loop. You take action. You see progress. Your brain rewards you with a sense of accomplishment. Game motivation increases. You continue acting. Even small victories build momentum, creating a sense of agency over your environment and your life. This principle applies not just to cleaning, but to every area where progress feels daunting. How to start small. You don't need to overhaul your entire space in one day. Start with micro actions. Step 1: choose a single area. Pick one manageable space, a desk, a drawer, a shelf, or one corner of a room. Focusing on a small area prevents overwhelm. Step 2: sort and categorize. Divide items into keep, discard, relocate. Ask yourself, do I need this? Does it serve me? Does it bring value? Step 3: create designated spaces. Everything you keep should have a home. Use boxes, organizers, or shelves. When items are in their proper place, the visual clutter disappears and your brain registers order. Step 4A: maintain daily micro cleaning. Spend 5-10 minutes daily maintaining your space. Fold clothes, put things away, wipe surfaces. Consistency beats sporadic deep cleans. Step 5: expand gradually. Once one area is organized, move to the next. Momentum compounds. Within weeks, you'll notice not just a cleaner room, but a more organized mind. Declutter your mental space. Physical organization isn't just about the environment. It's a metaphor for your mental space. A cluttered mind leads to overthinking, anxiety, procrastination. reduced creativity. Consider journaling, planning, or meditating to declutter thoughts, priorities, and emotions. Just as you tidy your desk, clean your mind of distractions and unnecessary stress. The ripple effect of order. Creating order in your immediate surroundings has unexpected benefits. Increased productivity, clearer decision-making, reduced stress and anxiety, greater confidence and self-discipline, a foundation for tackling larger life goals. This principle aligns with life philosophy. Small, intentional actions produce compounding benefits over time. Real-life example. Imagine a student with a cluttered study space, papers everywhere, snacks scattered on the desk, books stacked chaotically. Studying is frustrating, focus is weak, and anxiety builds before exams. Now, they clean and organize just one section daily. Within a week, the desk is functional, supplies are accessible, and the mental fog lifts. Productivity improves, stress decreases, and the student feels more in control. That's the power of small wins. Final takeaway. Order your immediate surroundings first. It's not about perfection, it's about creating clarity, focus, and momentum. Start small, take consistent action, and watch how this simple habit transforms your life. Cleaning your room is more than tidying, it's training your mind to confront life with discipline and clarity. Your environment shapes your mind more than you realize. In the next video, we'll dive into the ultimate life principle, balancing order and chaos to live a fulfilling, resilient, and adaptable life. Balance order and chaos. Life is a delicate dance between stability and spontaneity. Too much order and life becomes rigid, predictable, and stifling. Too much chaos and life spirals into unpredictability, stress, and confusion. The key to thriving isn't extreme control or reckless freedom, it's balance. As the saying goes, too much order becomes rigid, too much chaos becomes unstable. This principle applies to your daily routines, relationships, work, and personal growth. Learning to balance structure and exploration is not just a strategy, it's a life philosophy that builds resilience, creativity, and fulfillment. The danger of too much order. Order is essential. It gives us structure, predictability, and efficiency. However, when taken to extremes, excessive order can stifle creativity. Over scheduled lives leave little room for experimentation. Increase rigidity, fear of change prevents adaptation and growth. Reduce satisfaction, life becomes predictable, dull, and repetitive. Create stress in unexpected situations. People accustomed to total control struggle when faced with unpredictability. For example, someone who schedules every hour of their day without flexibility might efficiently complete tasks but feel exhausted, uninspired, and anxious when plans inevitably shift. The danger of too much chaos. On the other hand, constant chaos, living without structure or consistency, has its own consequences. Overwhelm and stress. No clear plan means decisions pile up and priorities are unclear. Inconsistent progress without routines. Goals are neglected or delayed. Emotional instability, constant unpredictability leads to anxiety and frustration. Relationship strain. Unreliable behavior damages trust and communication. Think of a creative person who pursues every spontaneous idea without focus. Excitement is high in the moment, but progress is scattered and long-term achievements remain minimal. The psychological power of balance. Balancing order and chaos creates optimal living conditions for the brain. Structure provides security, routines, habits, and organization reduce cognitive load and allow focus on what matters. Chaos fosters growth, novel experiences, challenges, and risk-taking stimulate learning, creativity, and adaptability. Balance builds resilience by navigating both stability and uncertainty. You develop mental flexibility and emotional strength. Motivation thrives. Predictable routines give confidence, while new challenges prevent stagnation. In essence, balance allows you to enjoy security without sacrificing growth, and adventure without losing control. Practical tips to achieve balance. Establish core routines. Create consistent habits for essential areas, morning rituals, work or study schedules, meal times, rest, and self-care. Routines provide the stability necessary to navigate life efficiently. Reserve flexible time. Life requires spontaneity. Allocate blocks of time for creative projects or hobbies, learning new skills, exploring opportunities or adventures. This controlled chaos keeps life exciting and promotes personal growth. Embrace calculated risk. Stepping outside your comfort zone fuels progress. Evaluate risks intelligently. Identify potential benefits and consequences. Start small and scale gradually. Learn from failures without fear. Risk-taking is the bridge between safe routines and meaningful achievements. Reflect and adjust. Weekly reflection helps maintain balance. What routines are helping me? Where am I too rigid or too chaotic? What small adjustments can improve my stability and growth? This ensures your habits align with evolving goals and circumstances. Cultivate mindset flexibility. Balance isn't just about actions, it's about mindset. Accept that some chaos is inevitable. See change as opportunity rather than threat. Value both stability and novelty equally. Flexible thinking allows you to flow with life rather than resist it. Real-life example. Consider a professional artist. Too much order schedules every minute for work, avoiding experimentation. Output is consistent, but creativity stagnates. Too much chaos pursues every inspiration without discipline. Ideas are exciting, but projects rarely finish. Balanced approach maintains a routine of focused work and skill practice, but dedicates time for experimentation and exploration. Results steady progress, creative breakthroughs, and sustained satisfaction. Balance allows peak performance while preserving joy and adaptability. The ripple effect of balance. Mastering this principle affects every part of life. Career, structured effort plus innovative risk, taking sustained growth and achievement. Health, routine nutrition and exercise pull adventurous activities to physical vitality. Relationships, reliable consistency, playful spontaneity tip stronger bonds. Personal growth, discipline, exploration, resilience, confidence, and self-awareness. Balance transforms chaos from a threat into a tool, and order from restriction into a foundation. Final takeaway. Life is a tightrope between order and chaos. Lean too far in one direction, and you risk rigidity or instability. Lean too far in the other, and you risk unpredictability and overwhelm. The key is intentional balance. Create structure to support growth, but leave room for exploration to inspire creativity and resilience. When you master this balance, life becomes not only manageable, but also dynamic, fulfilling, and empowering. You achieve clarity without stagnation and freedom without losing control. Balance isn't a destination, it's a daily practice. Apply these principles consistently, and you'll discover a life that's disciplined, adventurous, and truly your own. Start today, and let every choice be a step toward the life you're meant to lead.